the cases are nil, but I'm sure it's not nil. So if the medical fraternity can be on high alert to test this and be on the lookout for the symptoms of this disease. So this is my humble submission. Thank you, sir.
Point noted, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Mizanur Haji. You can press the request button.
In course of a reply, Honorable Minister, I could see that in certain districts like West Garo Hills, it's a large district wherein the cases are 2023 and 23, 24, 24, 25, it is nil. So, and as we all know, that the diagnosis of Japanese encephalitis itself is a very complex process. So I just want to know from the Honorable Minister that whether adequate training and adequate expertise programs are being given to the doctors to diagnose the disease in the initial stages and to confirm the diagnosis.
Honorable Speaker, sir, this dreaded disease is a disease which is being taken very seriously by the government. In fact, the NBBDCP, which is a Government of India SOP, the initial SOP, the constitution of this surveillance is already on the job. We have what we call the designated sentinel labs. Maybe, sir, department now is reviewing whether or not these designated sentinel labs should also be in every district. We are working on it. And as correctly indicated by the member himself, a doctor, there is a requirement of manpower. Most important in this surveillance is what we need is the microbiologists. And yes, the department is aware. And we are now looking at a possibility, sir, of actually sponsoring candidates in areas where there is lack of manpower so that we can combat and have the necessary interventions to ensure the safety of citizens at large.
Mr. Speaker, sir, actually what I intended to say is, yes, laboratory is one aspect, then training of the medical officers who are responsible for the initial diagnosis to pick up the symptoms of the disease. So I think that is very important because the diagnosis of Japanese encephalitis itself is a very complex process. It mimics like many other simple fever, flu like that. So by the time it is diagnosed, if you are late, then the morbidity rate is very high. So are we doing anything to sensitize the medical officers in charge across the hospitals to pick up the cases early so that early diagnosis can be made and preventive as well as curative decisions can be taken early so as to prevent the morbidity?
So preventive or prevention is key, as correctly indicated by Honorable Member. And yes, we are now already working hard. I said intersectoral meetings. What is the cause? What are the symptoms? And yes, it is true that training is vital at this point of time. I want to assure the Honourable Member that there is intensive training going on wherever incidence of JE is high. So there is also the other component which needs to be attended to. Activities such as awareness creation, provision of nets, provision of the fogging that is required wherever, especially in the summertime when there is clogging of water, all of that is being done. We are trying our best, don't want to take too much time to highlight some of the technical terminologies, but yes, we are on the job.
Last question, sir. As we could see the data provided during 2023 and 24, the overall diagnosed cases were 89, and 24 and 25 it is 147. So you could see it has almost doubled, despite the statement that has been laid down that various programs, various initiatives, preventive measures have been taken. So where do we attribute the cause of these, high incidences, almost doubling, whether it is a failure of the programs or initiatives we are taking, or whether the programs that we are taking, that is not at the optimal level? And what corrective measures can be done so that the number of cases can be reduced?
Honorable Speaker, sir, when you read data, it indicates a few important references. The very fact that today coverage of surveillance is extensive, testing has been increased. So therefore we see that this testing is probably the reason why these numbers are now appearing, and we are now able to attend to this big threat in not just the state of Meghalaya, but several states across India, sir. And hence I want to assure the member, numbers are being indicated because tests are being carried out. Availability of tests, availability of these sentinel centers, availability of the manpower, availability of everything has given us a clear picture and given us a task which needs to be attended to. So we are focused, and yes, we are attending.
Okay. Pardon, please.
Sir, may I know from the Honorable Minister, when I look at the numbers given in this reply sheet, the concentration seems and the prevalence is high in areas on the Khasi Jaintia region, and we could see that there are hardly cases in the Garo Hills region. So may I know what is the reason?
Honorable Speaker, sir, numbers indicated are not biased as per communities. We have no intention to say that one area is more infected and the other area is not infected. The Department of Health is combating this disease. No matter where the occurrence is, whether it's in X place or in Y place, we are attending to it. The causes of this disease are also related to farming, related to other practices, and hence I feel that we look at a disease and we ensure that wherever there are these common practices, lifestyles, proximity of animal housing, proximity of the monsoon season, the increase in temperature, so many factors are there. Let me assure the honourable member, it is not true. Everybody is vulnerable. But if you look at another indicator which I had said, vaccination coverage. Look at vaccination coverage. East Garo Hills 80%. East and North Garo Hills 84%. South Garo Hills 92%. Southwest Garo Hills 93%. West Garo Hills 95%. Look at the coverages in other areas. East Khasi Hills 71%. You see Ribhoi 82%. Vaccination is key to the preventive nature of JE. If you vaccine and you take the vaccination, you protect yourself. We are working hard to break down all the difficult notions that people have, citizens have at large about vaccination.
For senior citizens and encourage young adults to get themselves vaccinated, because I can see from the Honorable Minister's reply in point B that vaccination with the routine immunization program is being done. So for the senior citizens and for the young adults, whether the government is planning to have a vaccination drive.
Honorable Speaker, sir, this vaccine, sir, was introduced as the Universal Immunization Program by Government of India in 2015. Status of coverage of immunization. In Eastern West Khasi Hills, it's at 79%. East Garo Hills, it's at 80%. East Jaintia Hills, it's at 98%. East Khasi Hills, it's at 71%. North Garo Hills, it's at 84%. Ribhoi, it's at 82%. South Garo Hills, it's at 92%. Southwest Garo Hills, it's at 93%. Southwest Khasi Hills, it's at 74%. West Garo Hills, it's at 95%. West Jaintia Hills, it's at 90%. West Khasi Hills, it's at 77%. This is inclusive of the first dose as well as the second dose of the vaccine. If you notice, though I have just read it aloud, the percentages where incidences of JE is higher, there has been an extensive, widespread awareness. Hence, you see that percentages of coverage of vaccination is much higher as compared to areas where incidence is nil or not a threat.
Mr. Speaker, sir, actually, I wanted to know from the Honorable Minister vaccination drive for senior citizens, sir. Senior citizens and young adults.
Sir, the actual JE vaccine is part of the Universal Immunization Program for 9 to 11 months and 16 to 23 months. Now, when we look at the age groups of JE occurrence, we do notice that the largest number is for infants. And because this program was only introduced in 2015, wherever there is high prevalence of mosquito, we recommend for universal coverage.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we know that in our neighboring state, Assam, there are very high number of cases for JE, and the number of confirmed deaths due to JE is also very high. And therefore, sir, I thank the Honorable Minister. We have a very high coverage of vaccination in almost all the districts. And as we all know, the most vulnerable to the diseases are infants and senior citizens. But for the infants, as we all know, it is being covered under the universal immunization. However, I'd just like to make a suggestion to the Honorable Minister that within the community, I think the information about this disease is quite low. And when patients having symptoms of JE are reported, because the initial symptom is just fever, and then only later on the hallucinations and the other symptoms tend to show. So within the community, there is lack of awareness. So whether the government is planning to have awareness programs for the citizens.
Honorable Speaker, like every virus, community awareness and IEC activities have proven to be very, very successful. And yes, intersectoral meetings between different departments, different districts are already being mobilized, especially in the high vulnerable areas. We are also now, sir, in the process of sensitizing even officials of the veterinary department, because there we have seen that veterinary officials also have to understand and be a part of the entomological surveillance and vector control. There has to be this coordination